A. Leon Guerrero, Magahagan Guahan, Governor of Guam. Hoffaday. Oh my goodness, the champions of the Hoffaday spirit. I caught you off guard. Let's try that one more time. Hoffaday. That's more like it, and I'm so happy to hear it. Hoffaday, and welcome to the office of the Governor of Guam. We are delighted to have you here with us on this beautiful Tuesday to proclaim May 2025, and I know we're mostly through the month, as Tourism Month. At this time, of course, I want to recognize the presence of the Honorable Lourdes A. Leon Guerrero, our Governor of Guam, and probably our real Miss Guam when she travels abroad and represents our island. From the 38th Guam Legislature, we have Senator Shelley Calvo. From the Guam Visitors Bureau Board, we have Ken Yanagisawa, Board Director and Chair of the Japan Marketing Committee. Off a day, sir. Of course, we have our Regine Biscoli, former Senator but GVB President and CEO. I call her Miss Guam at least. We also have Nadine Leon Guerrero, Director of Global Marketing. Keep those applause coming from Ms. D. Hernandez, Director of Destination Development. Mr. Rudd Goodmalan, Director of Finance. Ms. Lisa Berdalia, our Public Information Officer. I'll draw your attention to the other side of the room, Ms. Mary Rhodes from the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association, our president, and her team. Let's give them a round of applause. We also have representing Senator Jesse Lujan's office, Ms. Cecile Suda, half a day. Where's she? There. She's over there. Tizus Maasi, and again, thank you so. Oh. And Marvin, oh my God, and Marvin, he's even closer to me. I'm so sorry. Let's give him a round of applause. Also representing the Senator's office. Thank you so much. Again, Tizus Maasi for joining us on this beautiful Tuesday. I know everyone's busy, so we'll go ahead and go forward with the program, starting with our opening remarks by our president, Regine Biscoli.
Miss and half a day. All right. We really want to take this opportunity and thank the governor and also the lieutenant governor for their leadership and for bringing us here this morning to celebrate what we've already kind of been deep into in May as Tourism Month, and really thank our stakeholders that are here, our government officials, our partners in the legislature, and throughout the community for really helping us to celebrate this month. There have been a lot of important people, important programs that have really brought us to this point in the last 55 years of the Guam Visitors Bureau. And we want to acknowledge that history and the history of our Chamorro people. That is the most important and most unique selling point that we have when we invite visitors to come and visit our beautiful island of Guam. And so we acknowledge our past. We look at our recovery efforts that we're currently engaged in the present moment, and also we look ahead to the future and what we envision as a sustainable and very unique destination that we're excited to be able to share with the rest of the world. And the mission, the vision of the Guam Visitors Bureau is really to make Guam the best place to live, to work, and to visit. And so I want to thank my team and all of our stakeholders here, for the governor for her leadership in really trying to make that, again, Guam the best place to live, work, and visit. And so we thank you for your time today, and we're very excited to be here to celebrate Tourism Month. Siduos Maasi.
Tizus Maasi. I now want to give the floor to the Honorable Lourdes A. Leon Guerrero, our Governor of Guam.
Thank you, Crystal, and welcome to really participate in signing this proclamation for Tourism Month. And as I was I wanted to I was thinking back about tourism, and when she talked about the past, the present, and the future. And really, tourism began right after Typhoon Karen. And as a result of Typhoon Karen, President Kennedy at the time lifted restrictions of travel to Guam and out of Guam. Before, we had to get naval approval for visitors coming to Guam and naval approval for us to leave the island. And as a result of lifting those restrictions, while commerce and trade started booming. And I remember in the early 70s was really when tourism started growing very fast, of course, under the great innovation marketing at the time of Bird and Pinko. And at that time, what Bird and Pinko was doing, he was really bringing tourists into the homes of the people. And we would invite them into our villages during fiestas, and they felt really very important. And they went back, and by word of mouth, they started talking about Guam and its culture and so forth. And we can look at the evolution of tourism and the attention of what we need to do to get more tourists, right? We went from that to the beaches, the hotels, the water sports, shopping, and so forth. But as we continue to look into the future, we're now seeing that tourists want really more cultural experiences, right? I think that's what makes us the unique destination. And so I know that GVB has done a lot of research and marketing surveys and so forth. And the very one thing that we are looking at is substance in the experience of that tourist. We're seeing now more tourists wanting that cultural information. They want to experience the people, they want to experience the food. And I always say that we are a multicultural, diverse community here. We have all different ethnic foods and authentic. We have Thai, Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese, Filipino, of course, American, Chamorro food, and many others that people experience. And I'll tell you, these are very authentic food. And we need to continue focusing on that. We also need to continue focusing on the amenities of the lodging. And Ken knows my passion about making sure that when tourists come, that they come and they feel safe in where they're staying. They like their beds. The hotel feels clean and fresh, and it doesn't have to be very fancy, but they want to feel that it is a safe, healthy, and clean environment along with the food. And I know that we are focusing on that now. I'm very appreciative of the Hotel and Restaurant Association and the industry in investing a lot of that to upgrade their facilities, because that's what we need. And we do all that, but we also need to make sure that we bring the tourists here. And how do we bring the tourists if we have limited access to air connectivity? And so that's one of the things I know President Regine and the GVB staff, because I know they work really hard when they go to those places. Don't think that they're partying, because I've seen it. I've seen the meetings that they set up. I've seen the people that we have to meet. And so it's really a lot of hard work and really committed attention to tourism. Why? Because it's the main driver of our, and it continues to be the main driver of our economy. Even with the whole military buildup, tourism has to be sustained as our main driver of our export, right? We export hospitality. That's what we do. And so I know tourism contributes a lot to the economy also. Over 21,000 jobs, I understand, and over $250 million of income infusion and revenues infusion into our government and to our community. And why? Because then we need to take that and throw it back into the community so we can continue, right, to providing those very basic services, not just for our island residents, but also for our visitors. And so that's why tourism is very key. And I want the people here and our community, and as we really use this month to do a lot of community awareness and again expand the knowledge and information about tourism and continue connecting with our educational university and our GCC for hospitality, boot camps, and so forth. I want them to know that we as a government must and will continue to support our very precious tourism industry. We will support that in any way we can. And that's also our commitment as our in our administration because we value what tourism brings to us, not just like President Regine said, culturally and traditionally, but also economically. And so I just want to thank first the GVB staff for being very patient and thank them for their continued dedication and commitment and their many, many sacrifices that they have to make, their tolerance and so forth. But they continue to be the consistent base of support for our tourism. Um, I'd like to also thank the GVB board members for their very, I think, global vision and also their sacrifices also because you don't get paid for these meetings. But but in spite of that, you benefit from your expertise, your feedback, your input. We need those, right? We need representatives from all sectors of tourism industry to be part of this continuous dialogue and conversation on how we can make things better. And all the other nonprofit organizations, of course, the hotel and restaurant industry, but even like the Guam Contractors Association, all those other nonprofit organizations that feed back into our industry. I also want to thank President Regine for stepping up to the task. I know she has a lot of goals, and I know that she's being looked at with high expectations, and I have no doubt that she would meet those expectations and even more. I also want to thank the legislature, Senator Calvo, for their commitment and their support. And I know they do want to work very closely with tourism um, under, of course, your leadership and the speaker and the chair of the Committee on Tourism. So although this is a month of tourism, but hey, we need to think of tourism every day. And we need not just in the business world, but in our villages, with our mayors, with our cultural partners, with our students, with everybody, right? In putting in their part of their work to make tourism and make Guam the peace of mind destination. So we want to be where we were, where you don't have to persuade them to come to Guam, but at a level where if they're thinking, if Japanese, Koreans, Taiwanese, or the Filipinos, the Americans, whoever are thinking about traveling, that Guam is the first place that they think of. That's what we need to do. So thank you for your efforts. I look forward to working more with you and know that our administration stands ready to support you in any way we can. Sizus Masi.
Caesar's Masi, Governor. And now for the reading and the signing of the proclamation. Proclamation number 2025-56, a proclamation of the Governor proclaiming May 2025 as Tourism Month. Whereas tourism has been and continues to be the cornerstone of Guam's economy, creating over 21,000 jobs, generating more than $260 million in government revenue annually, and sustaining a wide range of businesses that support our people's livelihoods and quality of life. Whereas the Guam Visitors Bureau, GVB, established in 1970 and reorganized as a public nonprofit membership corporation in 1983 through Public Law 17-32, has faithfully carried out its mission to promote and develop Guam as a safe and satisfying destination, deriving maximum benefits for the people of Guam. Whereas this year, the Guam Visitors Bureau proudly celebrates its 55th anniversary, a legacy that began with just 109 Japanese visitors arriving on Guam in 1967 and has since grown to welcome over 1 million visitors annually from around the world, becoming a model for island tourism in the Pacific. Whereas tourism development on Guam was made possible by visionaries and leaders who, as early as 1952, believed in Guam's potential as a premier travel destination and laid the foundation for an industry that today connects us with the global community while showcasing our rich Chamorro culture, natural beauty, and warm island hospitality. Whereas the Guam Visitors Bureau continues to play a vital role in Guam's economic recovery, helping to rebuild and revitalize our tourism sector in the wake of the global COVID-19 pandemic and the devastation of Typhoon Mawar, ensuring that the industry emerges more resilient, adaptive, and sustainable than ever before. Whereas GVB continues to be a vital bridge between government, industry, visitors, and the community, leading destination marketing efforts, enhancing the visitor experience, investing in cultural preservation, and ensuring tourism remains a source of pride and prosperity for our island. Whereas the Guam Visitors Bureau's Tourism 2020 vision set the path for Guam to be recognized as a world-class resort destination, offering unforgettable experiences in a safe, family-friendly environment rooted in 4,000 years of cultural heritage. And whereas the government of Guam recognizes the importance of engaging the community in understanding the impacts of tourism, and this month provides an opportunity to celebrate the people who contribute to its success, from the hotels, tour guides, and the restaurants to artisans, performers, and hospitality professionals.
Now, therefore, I, Lourdes A. Leon Guerrero, Magahagan Guahan, Governor of Guam, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Organic Act of Guam as amended, do hereby proclaim May 2025 as Tourism Month, given under my hand and the Great Seal of Guam, to be affixed in the capital village of Hagatna on this 20th day of May in the year of our Lord, Anno Domini 2025. Viva tourism!
Viva! Thank you so much to our governor. I now want to call everyone up to the front for a group photo, and this will conclude our proclamation signing for May 2025 as Tourism Month. Thank you all.